A fellow that writes just as many songs as most anybody in the country and sings them just as well when it comes to the country style of singing. Hank Williams.
Thank you, Roy. I've got a song here that I'd like to do that's been awful kind to me and the boys. It's bought us quite a few beans and biscuits. This is the best song we've ever had financially. A little tune called Cold, Cold Heart. I try so hard, my dear, to show that you're my every dream. Yet you're afraid each thing I do, it's just some evil scheme. A memory from your lonesome past keeps us so far apart. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? Another love before my time made your heart sad and blue. And so my heart is paying now for things I didn't do. In anger, unkind words are said that make the teardrops start. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold There was a time when I believed that you belonged to me. But now I know your heart is shackled to a memory. The more I learn to care for you, the more we drift apart. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart?
You know, folks, I've got a little sister, and, well, she's kind of bashful, but she's awful struck on the way Hank Williams sings them pretty little love songs, and the last time I seen her, she was over yonder on a bunch of straw singing one of them herself. Little Anita Carter's my sister. I'd like for y'all to hear from her, maybe. Today I passed you on the street. And my heart fell at your feet. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you.
Somebody else stood by your side, and he looked so satisfied. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. A picture from the past came slowly stealing as I brushed your arm and walked so close to you.
after my father, I am the best dancer after him. See, he was the king of tap dancing. I've never seen nobody, no other man outdance him or outthink him in his mind. But to me, I'm left to carry on that tradition, to fill his shoes, and I'm going to do my best to try to do it. I'll sit here and argue with you to the end of time if I know that I can get back at you for making you mad.
But you can't hit me no more and cause me pain.
I don't want to talk to you. You've made me mad today. Don't talk to me. It ain't been easy living with you all this time, the things that you've done to me. Trying to pick at my brain what little bit's left of it. Hey, look here. I'm not all the way crazy. This right here is a 12-gauge shotgun. It's a Harrison Richmond. It's a damn good gun. I've killed 32 squirrels this year with it. If you want to get to heaven, get to heaven. If you want to get to heaven, if you want to get to heaven. Well, my name is Jessica White. My real name is Jessica White, but I fairly go by Jesse because of my grandpa, Jesse Gerald. And I like that name better. It's easy to spell and easy to understand.
They call me the Miracle Woman. I am Jessica White's mother. And I have raised him from a little boy. He's always stayed with me all his life until he met his Norma Jean White. That's when he was about 18 years old.
My name is Norma Jean White, and I'm Jessica White's wife. And I've been married to him for, well, it was 13 years, and we divorced for 10 months and remarried, and we've been married 2 months now. And that's our life up until now.
He loves that woman. For some reason, I don't know why, but he does.
Well, this is Jesse, and this is my dear friend Waddy. Pull out a 20 and we'll rock for your party. Wildwood Flare. First time I got in trouble in my life, in my younger days, is breaking in a grocery store. I was sniffing a lot of gasoline at the time. And lighter fluid, and I just didn't care whether I lived or not, as long as I was happy and had my pocket full, you know, to share of the world, any way I could get it. I broke in the store just to get lighter fluid to sniff. And that's one reason the woman knew that I did it and I was guilty for what I done. I gave myself away when I stole that case of lighter fluid because my father went there and told her not to sell it to me because I was sniffing it. Deputy Sheriff Boyd Jones was his name. He came up, knocked on my mother's door. He said, Miss White, I got a warrant for Jessica for breaking in her. And he said, is he here? And she said, yes, sir, he is. She was a-crying as he's handcuffed me, you know, and put me in the car. And I hugged her, and I said, don't worry, Mommy. I'll get out sooner or later. And I kissed her on the jaw first and remember, and he put me in the police car, and I was waving by at her through the windshield, you know, with my hands handcuffed, both hands like that. she was standing on the porch a crying as they drove away with her. And I spent, I guess, 6 months in the West Virginia Industrial School for Boys. That's Pruny Town. That's where they rehabilitation you and make you better than what you are. They make you not do them things. Well, I got out, and it didn't help me none. So I got in trouble again, and I went back for the second ride. The superintendent looked at me, and he said, "You back again, White?" I said, "Yes, sir, I guess I am." He said, "You know the routine, fall in line."
Jesse can be 3 people. He is Jesse, he is Jesco, and he is Elvis. Jesse is the most beautiful man that I could have ever loved. But Jesco, he's somebody else. He's the devil in himself. Nothing satisfies him. He can't be happy. Nothing you do for him makes him happy.
And I took the butcher knife and put it up to her neck. I said, "If you want to live to see tomorrow, you better start frying them eggs a little bit better than what you're frying. I'm tired of eating sloppy, slimy eggs."
Jesco is the devil. He's the devil in himself. He's a person that when he is in his mood, he feels no pain. He doesn't care about anybody. And the more people he can hurt, the happier he is.
And man, I got a double super buzz. Here I was huffing airplane glue in a sandwich bag. You know, just all I could, I breathed it on into my lungs and getting high. And then I'd take me a hit of that gas. Right after I'd hit. Man, you talking about a warped mind, I got one. Things come to me you wouldn't believe, just like I was saying, this woman, a beautiful woman, just like a lady from heaven, like an angel's body, pretty blonde diamond shapes in her, and the tongue was just like the snake's too, sticking out like this at me, and her body was like an angel's from heaven. And just imagine this, man, a rattlesnake head's on this pretty, beautiful, naked woman, girl's body. I'd say she looked about 19 or maybe 20 years old to me. And lighter fluid, you know, I'd sniff hit by the cans. I'd go around, man, with a sock in my hand like that, you know, soak it down, and I wanted all that good stuff I could get in me. And here, man, I was it. I mean, I was Superman. I mean, it seemed like I could stand in front of a coal train and stop it. That's stuff that had me thinking, I guess, to get me killed.
But then when Elvis comes by, I have to be silent and enjoy the music and the sounds around from Elvis, too.
This is my recording room down in here, and also my bedroom together. It's 2 things in one. And it's a place where I sing them Elvis tapes with Elvis and make recordings. And I want to introduce y'all to my room and show it to you. And we'll go down and do some recording. And this is my Elvis room, and these rugs here, I got one from my sister's little boy and one that I've always had. And like I'm saying, it wasn't for this Elvis collection and my wife here that I figured I'd be dead or locked away in a crazy house to the day I died.
Yeah. Oh, the way I feel tonight, you better wrap me up good and tight. In your arms, in your arms, in your arms, in your arms, just like a bee in a honeycomb.
I was actually an animal. I mean a beast, no good animal that would feel like killing anybody just for a drink of water, for the pleasure of it. I had those kind of feelings. So this Elvis collection took that away from me. I don't have to feel that way no more. Because just like I said, it's just like there's a lot of burden lifted from me.
He wants to get away from this tap dancing stuff and get in this Elvis stuff. So my advice, I would, for Jesco to take his dad's shoes and go on and do what his dad wanted him to do and get away from this Elvis stuff. Because it ain't going to amount to nothing to Jesco, but this other will.
Well, these shoes right here that I got on belong to my father, who was once a great tap dancer. It took a lot out of me when my father got killed. A tragedy happened. He couldn't carry on with himself about, you know, being the dancer that he wanted to be, because this tragedy took place and things of that nature.
He has a lot of problems dealing with his dad's death. Even now when he acts happy, he's still sad. There's lots of times that just all at once, he up and has to go there. He wants to go talk to his daddy, and it helps his mind after he goes there. And he's a better person for a little while, but then it starts all over again. He gets back down, depressed again.
This is my father's grave right here. He was the king of tap dancing, and I've seen a lot of people dance, but not like him. I could never outthink him or outdance him. He's gone, but not forgotten.
He loved his family. That's one thing about D. Ray. He loved his family. He loved everybody. He would try to help everybody he could help. And they all missed him, too. Everybody in Baineytown, you can go to Twilight, anyone asked about him. They'll give you a good word about him. D. Ray White was a #1 tap dancer. He was the worldwide. He knew 52 steps more than any other tap dancer in the world. That's it.
The death of my father, everybody told it their way, and they wasn't even there. That's, you know, when something happens, you hear 1,000 things about it. I was actually there, and as far as I remember knowing, my father was shot down on account of something that my brother caused.
About the night that Dad was killed, we were there at 7:30 and came home because we didn't want to be in the party.
I would like to tell you today that my husband lost his life here. He had been gone all day, and then he came in and he told me he'd bought me a new car for my birthday and throwed me the keys and told me to take me a ride in. Well, me and the children got in the car and we went across the mountain. We
got ready to leave, and we got halfway home. I told my wife, I said, Norma, I said, I forgot my sunglasses at Mommy's. And something just telling me to go back and get my sunglasses. I want to go back and get my sunglasses. I said, I just let Dorsey borrow him the wire. I didn't give them to him. I want to go back and get them. She said, Jesse, it's off a long way to go back and get the sunglasses. I said, we'll go back tomorrow and get them. I said, no, man, by God, we're going to go back tonight and get them. I said, I paid for them, and ain't no other God, you know what, going to wear my glasses after me spending my money for them. Them's mine and mine only. I said, I just let him use them. And I said, I will go back and get them. She said, no, I don't think that's the ideal. They're drinking, Jesse, and said, I'm tired, so let's go home and go to bed. I said, no, you're going to go to bed all right. You're going to go to bed in a coffin. If you don't turn this vehicle around and go back and get my glasses. See, that's how the drinking and stuff had me at the time. This is true. And I said, I'll blow your effing brains out all over the dash. And I said, I won't hesitate 1 minute, man, about doing it. I said, I want to go back and I want to get my shade.
Jesse said, we're going back to Printer. He said, I left my sunglasses up there. So I just went on back to Printer, and when I got there, there was a big yellow
because you wanted to come on home, and my costly sunglasses had to lay up there with some other weirdo wearing them. I said, I want my glasses. All right, we'll go back.
Norma, I want you to stay. He said, we had trouble here. Mamie took Mom and them across the hill and said, I'd like for you to be here. Mommy will be back in a little bit. And
Dorsey walked up to me with his mouth bleeding and looked like his eye was black, swelled up. I got to thinking, my God, boy, what's wrong with you? That's when we come back to get my sunglasses. He said, well, I was out Pawnee's camper. That's the time when Mamie asked me to come out, and we wouldn't. We went on home. He said, well, I was out in Pawnee's camper out there drinking and talking and stuff, partying, and said, when I come out of Pawnee's camper, said, Billy Hastings and Steve Rose started working me over like he was on acid.
And about 5 minutes later, this guy knocked on the porch and hollered for Dorsey. And Dorsey didn't hear him, so Dad did. And Dad went out there and said, boys, go on out of the holler.
And he said, Steve, I told you, get on out of the holler. So if you don't, I'm going to walk right down here to Henry's and call the state police on you. And he shoved Daddy. Said, Donald Ray, this ain't between me and you, Jessica and Norma. Said, this is between me and Dorsey. And I got to thinking, well, it's between me and you, and now you shoved my father on his own property.
Jesse went out there and he saw him shove Dad, and Jessica beat him up there right on the ground.
And it hurt me so bad to see him shove my father in that kind of shape. And I just went crazy as a bat, jumped on him and started beating him down in the ground. You know, a fight with him because I was angry and hurt by him shoving my father.
Jessica beat him up there right on the ground, and he got up. He says, well, man, you've whooped me. You can let me up now.
Well, we thought the fight was over and everything, and me and Daddy and Dorsey got ready to turn around to walk back in the trailer. Steve gave out a holler. Said, get me now, you motherfuckers, effers. And that's true. Said, get me now, you motherfuckers. And shot 3 times. The first shot got my father. Second shot got my brother. And I guess a glance off in the trailer, a third shot got hit because most shots hit the trailer. And one buckshot got me in the neck. And I said, oh, my God, I'm shot. Really, seriously. I said, I'm shot. And I fell to the ground, you know, because I was shot. I was scared to death, too, in shock, because that's the first time I'd been shot in the face like that, in the neck.
My name's Dorsey. They come up here, and there's that guy's dead, and started a fight. And they come back up and said, we wanted to finish the fight, you know. My older brother, he come back out, fighting a dude, and done whooped him. He said, I've had enough. And he headed out of the holler, like I said, in the holler, and he grabbed a shotgun right there, turned around and shot my dad and my other brother. And I took off running towards the trailer, and he shot me right over there again, the trailer door. I kind of glanced around like this right here, and then looked back to see how my dad and them was going. They shot me, then I ran on in here. And I hit the floor, and I started bleeding and stuff. Knocked me unconscious.
Dorsey said, oh, God, my face, man. I can't see nothing, man. Oh, God, like that. Was hollering for Daddy. He said, where you at, Deezy? Like that, running up, said, help find Daddy. Where's Daddy at? He couldn't see out of his eye because it shot out. And I was laying on the ground. It shot like this, a choking on my own blood.
Bet you were where I found my husband laying here in the road. And I picked him up, and my arms ran up in his back before his whole back was shot out. Then I looked over, and I seen Jessica laying there bleeding. And then I looked over and seen Dorsey bleeding, all 3 of them laying here in the road. And that's the last thing I remember. The laws got here, and they took me in the house.
And I ran in the house and got blankets and covered them up.
Then the deputy sheriff came to investigate this shooting that went down. Said, Jessica, daggone you, said, don't you die on me. I felt like I was really dying because I was really in shock and choking, too, on my blood. He said, daggone, don't you die on me, Jessica. That deputy did.
And I was in the hospital for about 2 or 3 weeks. They didn't want to let me come out there to see my dad's funeral or something, and I come on out anyway, you know. And she can tell you about how long the guy got out of it. He already got life, and he didn't get nothing at all.
He got 5 to 15 years I'm doing this stuff to my family, and they say he's getting out next month. If he gets out again, we're looking for trouble. That's all I know.
Yeah,
but it'd probably be him go down this time instead of one of mine.
Best thing to do is just stay away from us. We don't bother nobody. We're a good family. We try to help anybody out we can.
That's exactly right.
Other than that, that's fine for me. As long as he stays away from Boone County here, away from my mom and them, he'll be all right.
And if I was at my right mind and not been under influence of alcohol or drugs, I believe that I would have killed everybody there and didn't turn the gun on myself. Because losing your father is a lot. That's really a part of you laying on the ground, too. And that's the reason I say it does a lot, too, you know, when you love somebody. And the way I feel this way, we didn't finally show we loved each other anyway, but the way we did it, the way life was. Because he wanted me to be tough, wanted me to think that, but all the time he loved me. The names he called me, the bastards, the little old son of bitches, he didn't mean that, because he really loved me. He was just mad at me. I know that. And I never did hold it against him, but I held it against him for making a difference in the boys. Why was I always had to be the black sheep in the family? And it's really true.
It tore the family all to pieces when he got killed. And they are hurt so bad, all of them. They're really wild after he left them. I don't know, just seem like they don't want to live themselves. They just want to get out and go and go and go.
Jerry Pontosa White, Jessica's brother. My father.
Everybody party and have a good time. The way we like it. We're wild and crazy and can't be stopped. Only the strong will survive. That's all. He's burning it up. He's floating off from hell. He's floating on the hill again. He blames the family for Dad's death. They've been here one time, and he got furiously mad at them and told them to leave, that they wasn't welcome in his home no more because they didn't even come to our wedding.
Well, I just don't like to be around them, period, because what happened in the past, and every time I think about the past, it comes back up in the future, messing up with my good life. And I'm on the edge of, something good now, and I like to keep it that way. My daddy left me something to keep me free. It's pretty damn good, ain't it? I'm the last mountain dancer around these parts. And Lord knows I've had a hard time of trying to get where I'm at now. And I just hope this is the big one for me. I hope and pray. I want to dedicate this first song and this first guitar playing and dance to my father, Donald Ray White. The name of it's called The Wildwood Flower. Take it home, Waddy. That we done over Charleston, and this is the first time I got to put on a show. I loved it, man, because it was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I think that's been my trouble all the time. I ain't had time enough to get out to talk to people or to be with many people. And what people I did have was destroying me.
He told me one time that Norma was putting a lot of stuff in his head that his family didn't like him. But she was telling him wrong, trying to get him to turn against us, keep him coming around us.
We would be getting along just fine, and they would bring a real pretty girl around that he had knew a long time ago. And then she would say, you don't have to stay here with her. She's too old. You should have a family.
He loves that woman. For some reason, I don't know why, but he does.
I never in my life had intentions of having young'uns. The way I had to come up when I was a kid, it took the czar out of my heart to have a little baby and knowing the shape the world's into.
My husband didn't like for him to marry her because she was much older than he was, and he knew it wasn't going to work out. But for a while, it did, and then in no time, everything went haywire with him. We were just arguing and quarreling and fretting to kill each other, guns and all this old stuff.
My fear is of him hurting one of them, or me too.
Don't get me mad. I don't like to be mad. I'm a kind of person who wants to be happy.
Does it make you mad when I say you jerk the pages right out of my Bible and call me a hypocrite?
It keeps going down to me not happy. Man, I'm going to have to do something.
Say, did it? What
That's
about?
what it ends up me hitting.
You misunderstood, honey.
Yeah, I've threatened your life many times over and over to get your mouth to shut up. I mean, I've told you I'd blow your brains plumb into that riverbank over there just to get you quit arguing and trying to get ahead of me. And you talk everything like it's coming from the heart. Man, he's really going to blow me away, you know.
You would. You would. You've hurt me. You've hurt me.
Anybody will say anything under the influence of madness. Marriage is a wonderful thing, but you get a lot of little things with it. It's not perfect, but there's love in it, there's happiness in it, there's also sorrow, hatred, and madness in it. It ain't been easy living with you all this time, the things that you've done to me, trying to pick at my brain what little bit's left of it. Hey, look here, I'm not all the way crazy, and I ain't sane, and I ain't drunk. By God, I got sense enough to know what you're doing. Well, I don't want stuff like this on my video and messing it up.
It ain't gonna be in your video. It's in your biography.
Because
it's
all I want is good, honest dancing and people to enjoy themselves. You never know. I might get good at just dancing and come into money and probably make it big. You never know. I might have a whole new life the next time you see me.
See, you're mad at me because we ain't got no car. We can't afford a car.
See, I can get there, but God can't.
Hey, wait a minute now. How long now do I have to wait before I have sex with you again just because I made that mistake?
You do things about agreeing with your husband.
Elvis, how long does Priscilla have to wait now before she has sex again for the mistake she's made today?
Well, I don't know. It could be a lifetime or it could be tomorrow.
Well, I gotta tell you what happened. I went out last night, and I got hitched up. When I woke up this morning, should have seen what I had in the bed with me. He jumped up out of bed, put his hand down his eye, looked at me like a guy in Canada that come out on his meat. He said, so this time we're way up here. We got all alone. Thing was going just right. You jumped out of the car. come down our cheek. She said,
Hassel Atkins is, depending on what your perspective is, he's a rockabilly hero, cult favorite, or an alcoholic pest.
Who's greater, Elvis or the Hayes?
Hazy. I mean, I'm Elvis fan, big fan. And right now, I don't believe he's even dead, but Hayes has got him beat.
He drove off a cliff at 100 miles an hour. He'd get girls in the car and back them into telephone poles and ram them and, you know, have sex in the middle of the road, just, you know, because that's what was going on. And
he said, "Do you know a Hassel Atkins?" I'd start laughing. I said, "Yeah, the band, the one-man band." And he said, "This guy says he's a rock and roll star in Europe." And he was laughing. I said, "Yeah, I think that's probably true."
Everywhere he would play, the girls would go wild over it. No matter where it was at, where he parked, or where he played, they were there. They went wild. They screamed. You couldn't hear anything.
Hassel's the wildest man there ever was. I mean, forget that girl in Stranger Than Paradise that walks around saying that Screamin' Jay Hawkins, he's a wild man. Screamin' Jay can't hold a candle to Hassel, and Hassel's hardly even trying.
Rock and roll tonight. Hey, whoa, baby.
Hassel's whole concept when he first heard stuff on the radio was the announcer go, "This is Lefty Frizzell," or "This is Hank Williams," you know, but they didn't say like, "This is Hank Williams and the Drifting Cowboys." Hassel didn't picture, you know, 5 guys behind him. I'm talking when he's a real little kid. So when he first started learning, he'd say, "Well, that's Hank Williams, and Hank Williams is playing this and this and this." So, you know, he just figured, Hank Williams is playing everything. I got to play everything. Thank goodness he wasn't into like the Glenn Miller Orchestra or, you know.
That's it. My name is Irene Jean Dolan. I live on Camp Creek in Bab Julian. I've been here for 45 years. I'm age 62. I was born in Topeka, West Virginia. And Hassel Atkins is my baby brother. He started to beating on his guitar, his water bucket for a guitar. My daddy, he said, "Son, go out behind Chimney Corner and beat on that." Said, "You're driving me crazy with it." So he goes to Chimney Corner and he beats and beats. That's where he practiced. He stayed, and that's where he learned. And he listened to Hank Williams and Jimmy Rogers and all them legends. And he thought they were doing that themselves, which they was not, which he thought they was. So he took it from there and he started.
Well, when I went to California in 1956, the fella that backed Frankie Avalon, Richie Valens, Fabian, and well, there was a lot more. He had them, they was real big in L.A., but they hadn't spread across the country, just local stuff. But they was doing real good, and they knew they were going to go over, which they did go over. So I auditioned for him and everything. He said, "Well, give me your phone number and where you were staying at and where you live at or what." And I give that to him. So I ended up waiting. I waited around a month or something like that. And nobody showed up. And I was staying with the other people, and I didn't like that. So I just opted to come back home. I left out at 10 o'clock at night out of L.A., come back home. And about 3 or 4 days after I got here, well, I got a letter from Whitey, the person I was staying with, the man and his wife, that he come up the next morning. I left at 10 o'clock at night. He come up around 10 o'clock the next morning. He said, "What's Hassel? I'm ready now to take him down and start making, you know, posters and all this and that and cutting the record and start promoting him and see what I could do with him.
When Hassel got back from California, his buddies out there who he was staying with were saying, well, this talent scout's looking for you, and that talent scout's looking for you, you know. But, you know, Hassel was already back. I guess he might have reconsidered and even went back out to California if he could have done it. I think at the time, you know, like I said, he was interested in he was doing country music. And, you know, I think that's what he was trying to slot into. Like, he was on the town hall party with Patsy Cline and stuff, and Collins kids and things. But when Hassel got back to West Virginia, almost immediately, he got in this accident that still hurts his back to this day. He can't stay in the car a long time. Apparently, with 100 miles an hour, he went over a cliff and just cracked up. His best friend died. He got hurt. He was laid up for months. And, you know, that slowed him down. That's what slowed Carl Perkins' career down, the same kind of deal.
Well, I missed it by just hours, because I left town at 10 o'clock at night. He come 9 o'clock next morning. So I come on back here and stayed here. My daddy ended up dying, and I had to stay with my mother there for the next, 25 to 30 years with her. Well, I didn't really want to walk off and leave her, you know. But I just kept writing songs and playing around locally and all this and that, you know. And sending tapes and records throughout the whole world, you know, hoping somebody would pick up one of them or something. So, I guess that's it.
Ready? Look here, mama. I'm going away, can't you see? Look here, mama. Going away, can't you see? 'Cause she don't love me. She don't love me like she did.
I was in the prosecutor's office in Boone County, and I encountered Hassel when he had some minor scrapes with the law, and I was interested in Hassel because he seemed very pleasant and really bizarre. He was a different sort of person, so I asked around about Hassel, and I was immediately inundated with Hassel Agin stories. He was something of a local phenomenon, a local legend. He was viewed as extraordinarily eccentric.
The first time I met Hassel, I got a call from the U.S. magistrate. Hassel had been indicted in the Southern District of West Virginia Federal Court for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. And the magistrate called me and told me that he had a case for me, and I said I was too busy to do it. He told me that I was being called upon to represent a guy who lived in a $40 a month shack in Boone County, West Virginia, but who was a rock star in Europe. And I immediately assumed that the guy was crazy. And so I said, well, you're exactly right, Your Honor. This man needs me.
Yeah, I love you, Mama. Lord, you know I love you so. And I want to tell you, baby, honey, don't you know I love you. Yeah, yes, I love you, you so. Hey, oh. Woo! Woo!
And Jesus Christ, he walked in with 4 albums that had all been done in Europe in the last year. And it was wild. I mean, and all these fan letters from all over the world with checks in them for pictures of him and autographs and stuff, joining the Hassel Agin fan club.
Well, I want to explain. I get a lot of letters from mines all over the world, and they all want to know what the hunch is. Well, hunch is the dance. it ain't where I guess it concerns sex, but it's still it's a dance. It ain't something that you would consider bad. It's just going where you want to take it, you know. And I think it's really one of the best, I think it's the best dance they ever had. I mean, out of all the dances they ever had, I think it's the best one. And everybody seems to like it and everything, but nobody don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
Well, I don't know, I'll tell you the truth.
I just don't know how to answer that.
Oh. The hunch.
The hunch, as I understand it, it has been explained to me, it's a dance that's been developed by Hassel.
A dirty dance.
You love me, baby, I love you. Come on, put it, baby, let's hunt that thing. Shake that thing. Shake that thing. Shake that thing. Bird that thing.
Let's take a picture of that thing.
I want a big one. I want a great big one. I want an 8 for 10. Man, I want to see what that thing is. Shake that thing, shake that thing, bird that thing, let's hunt that thing. Let's hunt that thing. Shake that thing, hunt that thing.
People talking about my songs like they're bad and everything, like to do the split, I mean, well, the name of them, just show me your split, that's new one. Well, you'll hear them sooner or later. But, and like shake that thing, hunch that thing, let me take a picture of that thing. Look, I want an 8 for 10 of that thing. If you get a bigger one, send it to me. But anyway, what I aim to say, but shake that thing could be anything. You could be shaking your hand, shaking your foot, or, well, you could be doing this, rocking the baby street. So it can be anything, which way you want to take it. If you got a bad mind, you want to hunch or something like that, I can't help it.
Okay, I've dealt with Hassel off and on for probably the last 12 years. I've arrested him for discharging firearms from a vehicle at roadside. I've been to his home several times for supposedly holding his girlfriend hostage, when in fact she was a willing participant, but she would just want us to get her out of there and take her home to her family just to ride.
Hassel got into this scrape because his girlfriend, his husband, let me get this right, his girlfriend's husband had thrown a brick through Hassel's windshield of his truck, and this apparently festered in Hassel a while. And he and 2 other guys went out, apparently roaring drunk, to this guy's house. Well, Hassel denied that he had been intentionally drinking. But they go after this guy's trail, where he is, and it's absolutely, these 3 drunks go out to have a shootout with this guy with a sawed-off shotgun, and one of the guys is too drunk to get out of the car, so he doesn't end up being charged. But they get out, and the boyfriend, 12-year-old daughter, comes out and sees him and says, "Daddy, don't go outside. There's men out there with a gun." But in true, what I like to think of as true Boone County style, he immediately goes outside. They're shooting at him. They're so far away with a sawed-off shotgun that they can't do any damage. But he runs back inside and breaks the windows out of the trailer and begins returning fire with, I think, a .22 and a 12-gauge shotgun, with his girlfriend reloading for him. The only person that has any sense in this whole thing is the 12-year-old girl who grabs her younger siblings and takes out the back door and gets the hell out of the way. But they have an incredible, like 30 or 40 shots are exchanged. And nobody gets seriously hurt. All four people have to go to the hospital, and their total medical bills with like 30 or 40 shots exchanged. The total medical bill for all 4 was $190.
We were at the Price Hill Grill one night. and he was playing Donahoe Boogie. Donahoe was state police in Boone County at the time. And he was singing Donahoe Boogie, and the fan, they had a wall fan. And he kept watching the wall fan and getting slower and slower with his music. And pulled out a shotgun and shot the wall fan out.
Why did you do that?
The fan wouldn't turn right.
Here's a good part. Let me read this first paragraph. All by his lonesome, this transatlantic Boone County court legend was bashing out animal rhythms that all but took your limbs hostage. As he battered his guitar to within a beat of its life, Atkins' feet pounded bass drums and high hat pedals. A small cowboy hat, anchored securely with a chin strap, hung on for the ride as Atkins whooped and hollered like a wounded hellcat. The only thing missing was a toy holster and gun.
Duncan, please don't take me to jail. Yeah, Duncan, please don't take me to jail. If you put me in your car, I know I'm going to jail. Well, Duncan, please don't take me downtown. Yeah, Duncan, please don't take me downtown. If you put me in your car, I know I'm going to jail. You're my blue star. Oh, yes, you are. You're shining so bright. We'll be heavens tonight. And I love you. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, I love you. You're my blue star. And baby, yes, you are. Well, it's a Donahoe boogie, make it boogie, boogie everywhere. It's a Donahoe boogie, make it boogie, boogie everywhere. It's a Donahoe boogie, make it boogie, boogie everywhere. You go out on the highway, this is what you hear. Down the whole boogie, make you boogie, boogie everywhere. It's the down the whole boogie, make you boogie, boogie everywhere. Oh, when he walked in the door, you better sit there. If you don't, you are gonna go to jail. It's the down the whole boogie, make you boogie, boogie everywhere. It's the down the whole boogie, make you boogie, boogie everywhere. Hey! Wicky wacky, wicky wacky, hunt that thing. Wicky wacky, hit the, hey! Whatcha, come on. Whatcha. Hey, I got it. Man, punchy, whatcha, wicky wacky. I got a girl named Punchy, whatcha, wicky wacky, woo. Whoa, all right.
I'm talking to her. You don't push me back. I'm talking to her. I'm talking. You don't push me back. I'm talking to her. You don't push me back. Okay, I don't wear such a false paper, nobody. Well, okay. I'm just telling what she caused me tonight.
How do you? Get thing out of here. Oh, how's that? Hey! It's a deep out of rock. Whoa, deep out of rock. Here's a deep out of rock. Deep out of rock, 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 rock. Yeah. Well, you can do it in the morning. You can do it at night. But don't you tell the baby, you gotta do it just right when you do the deep out of rock. Hey, a deep out of rock. A deep out of rock. Rock it, rock it, rock it, rock it, rock it. I'm lucky here, baby, why don't you get it right and do it all night? Hey, deep out of rock. Deep out of rock. Deep out of rock. One more. Here we go. Deep out of rock. Yay! You can do it in the morning, you can do it at night. Hey, tell me, baby, make me feel just right. Hey, deep out of rock. Yay, deep out of rock. Do the deep out of rock. Yay, deep out of rock. Oh, that's what they call a deep out of rock. Hey, hey, hey. Woo!
The most important thing I can say about Hassel's music is a lot of performers play music so that the audience hears it and they applaud. They go home and they forget about the music. They forget about the concert. You know, 2 or 3 days later, yeah, it was a nice concert, but they didn't hear it. Hassel plays so that when you go home, you remember it, and you remember it for a long time to come.
Come on, baby, don't you be late. I want your head, I want it tonight. Want your head at 8:30, having on my wall about 8:30. Yeah, come on home, baby, I want that head. Come on home, baby, I want that head. I want your head hanging on my wall tonight. I want to say something about the police here in Boone County, the whole West Virginia, and all over the world. That I really do. I've been in a lot of trouble myself, but I really do appreciate the job that they're doing, especially here in Boone County. They have been good to me.
from the state police, the federal, on down to the county. All of them has really been good to me. And I also want to say that I'm looking for a good music lawyer, somebody that really took to music schooling and everything, because I've got a lot of companies that done me wrong, took my songs, put them out, no rights, no nothing. And I like to get a hold of a good lawyer, I mean a good music lawyer. I've been hunting for years now trying to get one. And sooner or later I'll find one. And I want to know if they want to contact me, they could get my address. That's my name, Hassel Agnes, Post Office Box 668, Madison, West Virginia. That's MADSON, WVA 25130. And they can find me like that. Then I'll get back in contact with them. Thank you.
That's plenty. Thank you, neighbors. And now let's go back and have some good old Tennessee square dancing. Start the music, Valley Horses.
We're going places. Break loose, walk back, Indian style. Swing the girl behind you. Bring your own partner. First, come down, wave your wave. She waves that pretty girl home. Go, see, know what I want to go.
Thank you. Wait a minute, June. What's the matter? You was having a hard time out there, wasn't you, honey?
Couldn't get me no fare.
Couldn't get any fare?
No, sir. All them old Cedar Hill women is hogs with their men.
Oh.
That's all our hogs. Hogs, oink, 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 hogs. That's all.
Wait a minute. Let them be hogs if they want to be. A lot of us men down in Tennessee are hogs about our women. But after all, I've got a partner here, the very partner for you.
Have you who?
Turn in. Hank Williams.
Go right
Come in,
down.
Hank.
June, honey, I got a song I wrote just especially for you. I'm going to sing for just for you.
What is it?
It's called Hey Good Looking.
Oh.
Hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me? Say, hey, sweet baby, don't you think, baby, we could find us a brand new recipe? I got a hot rod Ford and a $2 bill, and I know a spot right over the hill. There's soda pop and the dancing's free. So if you want to have fun, come along with me. Say, hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me? I'm free, I'm ready, so we can go steady. So how's about saving all your time for me? Ain't no more looking, I know
chuck my date book over the fence and buy me one for 5 or 10 cents. I'll keep it till it's covered with age, 'cause I'm writing your name down on every page. Saying, hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How's about cooking something up to me? Well, thank you, Hank Williams. Thank you, friends and neighbors. That's mighty nice. Cole or Pap and his jug band. They're going to do a little number called He's Too Old to Cut the Mustard Anymore. Yeah! Let her go! Too old, he's too old to cut the mustard anymore. He's getting too old, he's done got he's too old to cut the mustard anymore. When I was young and full of pep, I could get around without no help. Now I'm old and getting gray. People all look at me and say, too old, he's too old to cut the mustard anymore. He's getting too old, he's done got too old, he's too old to cut the mustard anymore. Well, I used to run just like a deer, but now I need the new landing gear. I used to jump a picket fence, but now I'm lucky if I jump an inch. Too old, he's too old to cut the mustard anymore. He's getting too old, he's done got too old, he's too old to cut the mustard anymore. When I was young, I had an automobile. I'd scoot myself right under the wheel. I used to fight the girls off with a stick. I always say, you make me sick. Too old, he's too old to cut the mustard anymore. He's getting too old, he's done got too old, he's too old to cut the mustard anymore. Very kind. And now then, I'd like for all of you boys to gather back around, and the Carter family and all of you back there, and let's sing an old camp meeting song, one that Hank Williams wrote, I Saw the Light. I saw the light, I saw the light, no more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy with sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I wandered so aimless, life filled with sin. I wouldn't let my dear Savior in. Then Jesus came like an angel in the night. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy with sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I was a fool to wonder and stray, for straight is the gate out of the way. But now I've traded wrong for the right. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy with sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the Friends and neighbors, we certainly enjoyed playing for you. Wonderful folks. All of you who are listening in at your home, thanks for letting us come in for our Grand Ole Opry entertainment. And thanks to Kate Smith and Ted Collins for the invitation. Good night, neighbors, all of you.
Very, very much, Roy. We enjoyed it.
south of Nashville in 1982.
Now,
But you're not going to do that.
Wait a minute, Mr. Jones. Now listen to me. I didn't know he's back there. He just pulls up. Now, I ain't going to have you start no mess with him.
Well, you tell him to get away from me.
All right, he ain't got nothing to do with me.
I'll go to jail with you anywhere you're going to go.
All right, you're going to go with me, but you ain't going to mess with him, all right? Come on, now leave him alone.
What the hell?
I don't know, but I don't
What have I done?
You are drunk.
I am not.
Yes, you are.
No, sir.
I want to come up here and give you some tests. I want you to leave this man alone, okay?
No, you're telling me to leave me alone.
Okay, he's going to leave you alone. We're going to go up there where he can't see us. Come on. You want to lock the car up?
No.
You don't want to lock it up?
No, you were running.
All right.
I haven't done nothing. I ain't got nothing.
What is that like that? George, hey, come on then, George.
We make a real ass out of this.
Wait a minute, David. Hold up. All right, kid, I don't want you to straight up swing somebody.
George, you really look mean there.
You know, after looking at this, I really think that was set up.
Well, we thought it was kind of strange that they happened to be right there when that arrest occurred.
Yeah.
I do not have an explanation for that.
But they...
But I know that in those days you couldn't...
Eddie Lawson into Krosnoff.
No, that is actually Stefan Johansson there.
Johansson.
And he was moving out to pass another car, which looked like it was Gilles de Ferrin. I don't think he saw Krosnoff. He couldn't have seen him. And he moved over. Boy, he got up into that fence. That's his rear end of his car that ended up in front of Ribeiro.
They work with Jeff Krosnoff still in what's left of the car, and I have not seen that much damage.
Race. Rookie Jeff Krosnoff was killed when his car became airborne, hit a fence, and disintegrated. A safety worker who was standing behind the concrete barriers was struck by debris and also died. The race was slated for 95 laps, was called after 92 because of the accident. Adrian Fernandez was declared the winner. Ernie Irvin took the checkered flag in Sunday's Jiffy Lube 300.
Boy, as close as you can see, Earnhardt's car gets upside down, gets hit there by
Robert Presley. Robert Presley in the 33 got into Earnhardt when he was upside down there.
But Cope was the first one, got him in the roof. Derek Cope in that 12 tangled with him as well as it was spinning and crashing. From the in-car camera of Dale Earnhardt at 190 miles per hour approaching turn 1. Sterling Marlin's pictures of this incident. And Sterling okay after that one. Dale Earnhardt has at least a broken collarbone. Another look.
Well, you can see the 28 and the 4-car touch, and the 4-car gets into the right rear of Earnhardt, shoots him right straight into the wall. Earnhardt's car gets on its roof, gets hit first by Derek Cope, and then the car 33 of Robert Presley comes along and hits him as well. And lots of other cars get involved. Simply nowhere to go. When you got that many cars running at that speed, that was the fastest part of the racetrack. When they came just past the start-finish line, well, there's going to be some big damage, and there certainly was.
Mark Martin spinning through it.
Boy, he had to be glad when he looked up and saw that he hadn't felt it hit anything, and then all of a sudden here comes a car right in front of him. That was Greg Sachs, but he dodges him and gets going again.
The loud noise you heard there was the outer part of the tire. The inner liner stayed up, but you could hear the outer tire pop as he was sliding around.
The pictures from Mark.
kids do in fall.
I got a feeling called the blue, oh Lord, since my baby said goodbye. Lord, I don't know what'll do. All I do is sit and sigh. Oh Lord, that last long day she said goodbye. Well, Lord, I thought I would cry. She'll do me, she'll do you. She got the kind of loving. Lord, I love to hear her when she calls me sweet and daddy. Such a beautiful dream. I hate to think it's all over. I've lost my heart, it seems. I've grown so used to you somehow. Lord, I'm nobody's sugar daddy now. Well, I'm lonesome. I got the love sick and blue. Well, I'm in love with a beautiful gal. That's what's the matter with me. Well, I'm in love with a beautiful gal, but she don't care about me. I've tried and I've tried to keep her satisfied, but she just wouldn't stay. So now that she is leaving, this is all I can say. I got a feeling called the blue, oh Lord, since my baby said goodbye. Lord, I don't know what'll do. All I do is sit and sigh. Oh Lord, that last long day she said goodbye. Well, Lord, I thought I would cry. She'll do me, she'll do you. She got the kind of loving. Lord, I love to hear her when she calls me sweet and daddy. Such a beautiful dream. I hate to think it's all over. I've lost my heart, it seems. Well, I've grown so used to you somehow. Lord, I'm nobody's sugar daddy now. Well, I'm lonesome. I got the love sick and blue.
St. Calvin